Before colonial borders, before modern Nigeria, powerful African kingdoms ruled with wealth, laws, and armies. Some were feared, some were admired. Today, we uncover the lost kingdoms of West Africa they never taught us about. Long before Nigeria existed, before borders were drawn with rulers and ink, before Africa was described as undeveloped, West Africa was home to powerful kingdoms, sophisticated cities, and rulers whose influence reached far beyond their lands. These were not myths. They were empires built on law, trade, warfare, and culture. The Kingdom of Benin was one of the most advanced urban civilizations in pre-colonial Africa. At its heart stood Benin City, a planned metropolis with wide streets, drainage systems, and massive defensive walls. European visitors in the 15th and 16th centuries rode in awe, comparing its organization to cities in Europe. Benin was ruled by the Oba, a sacred king whose authority blended political power with spiritual leadership. The Oba was not merely a ruler. He was seen as the link between the people and the divine. The famous Benin bronzes were not decorations. They were historical records, cast in metal. They told stories of kings, warriors, ceremonies, and victories. In a society where history was preserved through memory and craftsmanship, these bronzes were archives. Benin also maintained diplomatic relations with Europeans. Portuguese traders arrived in the 15th century, exchanging goods and weapons. But contact would later turn destructive. In 1897, British forces launched a punitive expedition against Benin. The city was burned. The palace was looted. Thousands of bronzes were stolen and shipped to Europe, where they remain in museums to this day. Benin did not fall because it lacked civilization. It fell because it was targeted. If Benin was known for art and urban planning, Oyo was known for power and political sophistication. The Oyo Empire rose among the Yoruba people and became one of the strongest military states in West Africa. Its strength lay in its cavalry, a rare advantage in the region, allowing Oyo to dominate vast territories. But Oyo was not ruled by absolute kings. The Alafin, Oyo's king, was checked by councils and chiefs. The most powerful of these was the Oyo Messi, a council that could force the king to commit ritual suicide if he ruled unjustly. This was not brutality, it was accountability. Power in Oyo was shared, debated, and controlled. Oyo also controlled major trade routes and influenced neighboring states through diplomacy and military pressure. It collected tribute, maintained order, and projected authority across the region. Yet, Oyo's greatest strength became its weakness. Internal rivalry, power struggles, ambition without restraint. As elites fought for control, unity weakened. External pressures grew stronger. By the early 19th century, the empire fragmented, opening the door for colonial intrusion. Oyo did not collapse overnight. It was undone from within. Kanem-Bornu was one of Africa's longest-lasting empires, surviving for over 1,000 years. Its power rested on trade, diplomacy, and adaptation. Located near Lake Chad, Kanem-Bornu controlled trans-Saharan trade routes connecting West Africa to North Africa and the Middle East. Gold, salt, slaves, and horses passed through its markets. Islam arrived early in Kanem-Bornu and shaped its governance. Kings, known as Mai, ruled with both political and religious authority. Written records, diplomacy, and scholarship flourished. Unlike many empires, Kanem-Bornu evolved. When internal conflict weakened Kanem, the empire shifted westward and emerged as Bornu, proving its ability to adapt rather than collapse. But time is relentless. Invasions, internal dissent, and the arrival of colonial powers eventually overwhelmed the empire. Yet, few civilizations in world history can claim such endurance. Kanem-Bornu's legacy still echoes in northern Nigeria today. These kingdoms were not lost because they lacked intelligence, structure, or vision. They were lost because their histories were ignored or erased. Colonial narratives dismissed African systems. Oral traditions were undervalued when colonial rule arrived. African history was rewritten through foreign lenses. Africa did not begin with colonialism. Nigeria did not emerge from nothing. Benin, Oyo, and Kanem-Bornu were proof that African societies governed, created, traded, and ruled long before foreign flags were raised. Remembering these kingdoms is not nostalgia, it is reclamation. If this story changed how you see African history, like this video and share it. Comment below, which African kingdom should we explore next? And subscribe for more stories history forgot.